The last couple of days I've been out at an island called One Tree Island, which has got one of the highest levels of protection that anywhere in the Great Barrier Reef can get. In fact, the public are not allowed to go there. It's only open for research. And so One Tree Island theoretically should be one of the healthiest places in the Great Barrier Reef. But in fact, what's been unfolding there has been really shocking to the scientists, because we're seeing very serious mass coral bleaching.
Corals live with single-celled microscopic algae living inside their cells. And those algae, the common name we use is zooxanthellae, they photosynthesize within those cells. And they give over up to 100% of the coral's energy needs. Now, when a coral bleaches, in this case, it's been because the water's been really warm, that disrupts the photosynthesis in the zooxanthellae and they lose a large percentage of them. So when they depart, the coral's pale, hence the term bleaching, which can be anything from a sort of beige colour all the way through to this very bright white that we're seeing on many of the corals out here.
We've seen temperatures in the water here that are up in the low 30s, and this is the kind of water that scientists say they're only able to stay in the water and do their research and dive for 20 minutes or half an hour before they start getting too hot. It's no wonder that the corals are becoming bleached.
We've kind of rushed up here to push forward some monitoring that we were going to do as part of a bigger study looking at the relationship or impact, I suppose, of coral-eating fishes, so corallivory, and their role in reef dynamics. We kind of moved it forward because that involved doing a lot of large area, three-dimensional mapping of the reef, from which we can derive all sorts of great information about the fate of individual coral colonies, whether they bleached and then whether they died. We're having trouble finding any spots where there's not a lot of bleaching.
It's just so unusual to see a whole reef going from being fairly healthy, pretty robust, greeny browns, and then seeing it just go into this bright white and blue fluorescent image. It's amazing. It's a whole transition overnight.
Something that feels different about this bleaching event is that it's very diverse in terms of the groups of corals that have bleached. A lot of the corals that we'd usually think are quite bleaching resistant have bleached, and that's upsetting, particularly because many of those are slow growing older corals. So really hoping that they will recover.
Obviously there'll be some areas that aren't hit, and I guess that's the interesting bit. That's the positive bit, trying to figure out why are these areas doing better than others. Sometimes it's the same type of coral in the same area is not bleached. Why is that one not bleached and those ones did? And so that's, I think, a lot of the interesting questions that are happening right now. And for us, we're asking, what's the role of the habitat structure and the assemblage of animals around them and how they interact with those corals? Do they have anything to do with why you get that sort of really patchy nature sometimes to bleaching?
We're seeing now that the water temperatures are starting to come back down, and so the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority and also the researchers themselves feel that like the temperature extremes have peaked. But the big question mark now is if the water temperatures can come back down quickly enough that those corals can once again collect their algal symbionts and regain their health.
Reefs are very good at recovering. They're designed to do that. But if they keep getting cyclones or bleaching events, if the gap between them is too short, then the recovery process can't happen properly. That's when we start to have real problems.
So the next few weeks are going to be critical for the future of the Great Barrier Reef.